Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to show you how I go into my Cricut and I take different layered SVGs and I can put them on one mat to cut them, and how I also can take and change out the colors if I need to. We are already on my Cricut, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to upload, and then I'm going to go right here to this first phrase I have, and then going to this first phrase, I'm going to pull it up, and it's going to come in pretty big. So first you will go up here to your top part, you will take your padlock off, you want to resize this, and we're going to take this down to about 10. Hit enter. It's going to look a little bit fumbled up, but you have to go over here to your width and change that size as well. So we're going to change this to 10 as well, and there you go, and there's your different size. Now I wanted to show you how to do that, but I have already sized, resized, and also I have already put together the colors I want. So I'm going to show you how you can take that and change it over to this. You will go to this, go in your right side panel up to the top where it says ungroup. You want to ungroup it first, click off of it, and then you're going to be able to separate it. So now we can make this into that color. We're going to make that purple. Reason, I'm going to have that as a silver, so we will make that silver. Someone, we're going to change that over to yellow. Smiles would now become pink. And last but not least, we want the last one. I already have another grayish color on my mat, so we're going to make and change that over to the light gray I have up here. Now, I don't need this, so I'm going to take that off, but that was just to show you how you can change the colors over. Now, I already have these on a mat. I'm going to go into make it. Now, as you can see, they all, let me pull you over so you'll see. They all will be on separate mats because they are all different colors. Now, I have already put mine on the mat and I already sized them off, but I'm going to show you how you can take and put all of these. Now, they will be the same color, but it's all in how you place them on the mat that will matter. First of all, I'm going to go and mirror this one. So now we got that from 1 to 4. We're going to go over here to this next one. And that's the word today. So you're going to go in here to the word today. You're going to go up here. You're going to hit move object. Once you move the object, you want to put it on that first mat because that's where the word reason is. You put it on the first mat, you hit confirm, and now they're going to be all jumbled up. What you do, you click off of reason, you go up under here because you want to move the word today and not the word reason. So you're going to go in here, going to make sure you're only moving the word today, and you're going to move that down. Now you want to give yourself enough room so wherein you cutting, you'll be able to layer your different colors. We're going to come back over here again to this side. We already took out the second mat, so now we're going to go over to the third mat. The third mat, the word is smiles. We're going to come back over here and repeat the same steps. Move object. We want it on the first gray mat. We're going to hit confirm. We're going to go up here to the word smile. Make sure you click off because you don't want to move the word reason. And you're just going to come down. So we're going to go in here and demagnify our how we're able to see it. You're going to come down a little bit more. Now, once you're satisfied in your placement and how much room you have as far as your vinyl, you're going to come back over here again. We're going to come down because we've already taken out the second and the third one. We're going to come over to the fourth mat, and that word is someone. We're going to go up here again, hit move object. We're going to the first mat, which is our gray mat, or our silver mat. Once again, you're going to make sure you only moving just the word that you need to move. And once again, we're going to come down, allowing ourselves enough space between the two words so that our vinyl can go in comfortably, and it will not overcut from one to the other. We're going to go down to our last word, which is be the. We're going to come to that. We're going to hit move object. We're going to come back to our first mat. We're going to hit confirm. Now, we have to go all the way back up, because when it adds to the mat, it always goes all the way up to the top. We're going to come all the way down, because be the is going to be last. And another thing, this is a 24 mat, 24-inch mat. This is not the same as a 12 mat. So if you had a 12, which is a small Cricut mat, then you would definitely take and do this differently. You would take and probably put like 2 or 3 of these on one mat, and then you would take and probably can put it on 2 mats or 3 mats. But this is just a way that you can take your layered items, if you have a 24 mat, and you will be able to put it all on one mat. Once you finish that, then you will hit continue, and I'll be right back. Now I have all of my material lined up, and being that this mat sometimes is not too sturdy in keeping down the different type of texture vinyl, what I did was I went along and I taped it. But on each one of these sections, I made sure that I went from each section and measured it off, and in measuring it off, I made sure that each word had its own area. So in layering this and putting this on, you also want to make sure that you change it over and always flip, because working with HTV vinyl, it has a coating on the front of it, which is your carrier sheet, and that is your glossy side. So your glossy side would definitely go down, and the actual material, which is your glue, would be facing up. So what I have did is I have went and I taped down each section. That's my first section, my second section, third, fourth, and down to my fifth one. Now I'm going to get ready to set it up in the machine, and I will show you which settings I use. Now I have my machine set up. You have at least 3 different types of vinyl on here, and I am using a Cricut Air Explorer 2. I'm going to go down here to the word continue. It's looking for my machine, it's thinking. Now it's going to say set base material. And in setting the base material, like I said, I have 3 different types of texture vinyl. But I want them all to be able to be cut with no problem. So my go-to one that I like to use is my everyday iron-on. Because whether it is glitter, holographic, premium, or my sports, I know that this one, with it having 2 cuts, will go through with no problem. So I'm going to hit the everyday iron on. Once I hit that, it's going to be in default mode, which I like to leave it at. There is a light flashing on my Cricut, and I'm going to show you that. It's a light flashing on my Cricut. I'm going to hit that. It's going to roll it in, and then I'm going to hit the C. Now we have everything weeded out. We just need to put it in order and put it on the shirt. Okay, someone today, let me put it like this. Someone today. Today is going to be our last word. So let me pull everything apart and make sure I have it in order, because you don't want to put it on the shirt in the wrong order. So let me make sure I got the first word, well, first part of the phrase. Be the will be first. We're going to have reason next. I'm going to put that like that. Pull this back out, because now everything going to fumble up. Be the reason someone is going to be next. I'm going to put that like that. Someone smiles. And my last word is going to be today. So I'm going to put that like this, and like this. So I have all my layers together. Now I'm going to go over to the heat press. Now what I'm doing is I'm setting up the heat press, because I have so many different textures, and they are normally set at different temperatures. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here to my heat press. I'm going to set it at about 325, and I'm going to give it like 25 seconds. So if I need to do any more, depending on the material, I will. But we're going to start at that particular temperature and that particular time. So I'm just waiting for it to heat up, and then we will get started. Now we are at the heat press. I have my shirt of choice, which is a black V-neck t-shirt. We're going to pull this up. First, we're going to start by taking the moisture out of it. We're going to use a Teflon sheet to go over top it once we take the moisture out. I normally take and fold my shirt to find my guide down the middle, but being that this is a shirt with a V-neck, we do not have to do that. But what I am going to do is take the V-neck completely off of the machine, because we do not want to press the V-neck. I'm going to make sure my arms are already lined up as I'm doing this, so that we can make sure that we have it not only guided in the middle, but also that it will be centered correctly. So as we fix everything on here, I'm going to automatically go ahead and press this moisture out. But I'm making sure I keep my point in the middle, so that everything will go according to how we want it to go, lined up. Okay, we're going to go down. I'm just going to take the moisture out real quick. Then we're going to start doing our layers. Okay, so we took the moisture out. Now, we want to make sure, like I said, that everything is lined up correctly. So we're going to take and put our arms like this, make sure that's right. We're going to start with our first word, and we're going to make sure we put everything down lined up correctly. Alright, now I have my be the. I'm going to put that right here. And I want it centered, so my V is right there. I'm going to take and bring it down right here, in between the arms to start it off. And I'm just going to go down with this one first. And being that it has like a wavy pattern, I want to make sure that one right behind the other, I can put it in there correctly. Okay, we have our first word together. It's already pressed on our shirt. Ooh, kind of hot. You want to take your time and peel back. And as you can see, I'm going to make sure y'all can see this good. You have be the. And like I said, that is your first word or phrase. And we're just peeling this right off. me bring y'all down some so y'all can see. Want to make sure y'all can see this real good. Now, we have our first word, like I was saying, that's already up here, and that's be the. And now we're going to put reason right under here. And I want to keep it in a wavy pattern. I'm going to also take and get my scissors. And in getting my scissors, I can cut down any of the vinyl that's extra on here, because I want it to be able to fit right in there. So we're going to cut across here just a little bit. Take some of our extra carrier sheet and take and cut that off. Okay, now we have that out the way. Now we're going to take and put this right up under the word be the two words, I apologize, be the. So now we got reason going right in there. As you can see, we're trying to keep that wavy pattern. I'm going to go straight down, no Teflon sheet. Okay, now we're ready to pull out, and we should be able to get y'all situated. Here we go. I'm trying to get y'all as close as possible so that y'all can see as we take and do our layers. So give me a minute. Okay, that's chiming off, letting us know it's ready. We're going to pull up. And sometimes when you're dealing with, like I said, different textures, some of them are what is called cool peel, and some of them are hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to move around here. I'm going to take one of my microfiber rags. I'm going to take and try to cool this off a little bit. So maybe we can get a better result if I cool this off. I'm going to also turn my fan this way as well to give it a little help. So we're going to see if maybe that helped. Because it should just roll off with no problem. But like I said, sometimes it takes a little bit more when it comes to some materials. And I don't think it's cooled off right now. We're just trying to cool it off so that we can peel it off and reveal our word. But this one being a little extra, y'all, being a little extra. And he's just trying not to come up right now. So we're going to give it a little bit more time before I peel it off. Okay, I gave it a little time. Now I'm going to go in here at this corner, and I'll always try to peel mine like at a diagonal, so that way you not only do not stretch the design, but it also should help it in making sure that everything peels off okay. This one is kind of like a gummy vinyl, where it feels like it's foil, but at the same token, it feels like it's got kind of like a different feel to it. And what it is that I might need to go back in and let this properly adhere to the garment, because as you can see, I'm still having to go in with my finger and help and aid it out a little bit so that our word will not be chopped up and it will not look like it's been ate up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely remove this cover sheet, and then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to give it a little bit more time. Even though they give you instructions and tell you how and give you a temperature, each heat press is different. So sometimes it's just figuring it out, figuring what's going to work for you. So I'm going to give this a little bit more time, and then we'll move on to the next texture and the next word. Okay, I went over this again. So what I'm going to do is, and it came out pretty good once I gave it a second press. Now we're going to move on to the next word, which is someone. I'm going to cut this down again because, like I said, we want it to fit in, because we have like a wavy pattern going on to this particular phrase. It does not have a straight effect. So you want to make sure you get as close as possible to the word. We're going to go up like this. And I don't want this to touch that particular type of vinyl because we already were having difficulty. So I'm going to go in here again and cut down real close to my word. Almost like I'm cutting it, but I'm not. I'm going to go in here real close. Because I want this to fit in just right. But I do not want it to go on top of that vinyl. And we're not going to press this one long because we have other words, and I don't want it to get to the point where that becomes a problem with that one. So we're going to keep our wave going. This is very close. I have everything lined up the way I want it to. Right under the word reason. Getting as close as I can. We're going to go down, and I'm going to only give this like 10 seconds, and then I'm going to be back. And being that we already had problems with this particular second vinyl, I'm going to go ahead and put a Teflon sheet on there because I don't want it to stick or become a problem where it warps or messes up our second layer. Okay, we went down for 15. I'm going to pull this up, move this out the way, making sure that the word reason is still okay. No problem. Like I said, sometimes if you want to cool this off, you can take a microfiber rag. They also have cooling stones, or you can just simply wait. We're going to go ahead and wipe across that. And glitter is pretty forgiving type of material, so you don't really have to go through a whole lot of it not pulling up or giving you the effect that you want. And that's just like that. We can pull this one straight off. No problem. We're going to throw that away. And now we have be the reason someone. Now we're going to go on to the word smile. Yet again, this is a different texture, different layer. And we're going to put this one down. And then we have our last word, which is today. So we're going to put this down. Like again, we want to line this up, but we don't want it to be over top of it where it messes with the next word above that. So I'm going to cut this down, and then we're going to go ahead and okay, I have our fourth part of our layer. I'm going to simply line this up, make sure that I'm not over top, but I have enough spacing in it so it is just right up under here. We're going to go across, make sure that's down. Once again, I'm going to put a Teflon sheet because remember that this is like a foil type of feel to our material, and I don't want anything to happen to that one. So we're going to go down, and I'm going to give this one about 15 seconds, and then I will be back. All right, we went down for 15 seconds. Once again, this is still intact, no problems. I'm going to go across this one right here because this is a different material from our glitter. And I'm just going to try to aid in cooling this off a little bit quicker. But this material, this next material, is a little bit more forgiving than this one up here. So we're just going to go across. I like to go at an angle, working my way, trying not to stretch it because we don't want the rest of it to warp. And we're just going to go around. And now we have be the reason someone, and now we have the word smile. Now we have one more layer. Let me get that, and then we can move on. We're going to move our shirt up some more, just a little bit. Remember, you want to make sure your neck is hanging off. So now we can see that we are almost completed. I'm going to get the word today together, and I'm going to make sure y'all can see that as well. And we're going to put that one again right up here in this area, but we do not want to have it over top of the other one because sometimes when you are heating it on your heat press, it will cause the other layer to either pucker up, and I've even had it where it actually pulled up a layer that I had before that. So a lot of times it's through trial and error. You really have to get in there and play around with your settings as far as your temperature, as far as how long you let it go. So I moved this down a little bit, and don't want to mess up our lighting. Okay, there we go. I moved this down a little bit and trying to make sure I line it up just right. And I think I'm liking the placement of that because I don't want it up too far, but I don't want it way down. And I'm going to move this T down just a little bit so that when I lay this down to press it, everything is lined up the way I would like for it to be. Now I'm going to do a Teflon sheet once again because I have pressed this 4 or 5 times already, and I do not want it to mess up my foil feeling Teflon that I apologize, HTV that we have up there. So I'm going to go in and also get another Teflon sheet because this time I'm going to go for the full 25 seconds to make sure that everything is adhered the way that I need for it to be. All right, now everything is completely covered and we're going to go down 25 seconds. Okay, we have gone for 25 complete seconds. Now for our final reveal. Let's see how everything came out, how everything has adhered, and see how our design look. Once again, our foil is okay. No problems with it. It came out nice. Now, this today, we want to make sure that it's going to come out okay. But not only that, we want to make sure that it stays to the garment. I'm going to take in my little microfiber rag once again. I'm going to go across here, take my time, and peel off our carrier sheet. And this one is coming out just right. I'm going to go across. Remember, I always like to take and do mine at an angle, so it will allow, if I need to see that this piece is coming up because it's not adhered to the garment, it gives me time to see that so that I can go back in, because you don't want any of your lettering to fall off, like when you washing it, or you might be making this shirt because you want to give it away. You don't want that to happen to them once they wash it. So I just like to go in and completely roll it or move it around according to how the design is, to allow me to see what it is that's going on with the vinyl. Now I'm feeling around, everything is up here, but however, I want to go in for at least 10 seconds to make sure everything is completely in.